Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Sydney from PhoneDoc.com and I am back with the Motorola Triumph from Virgin Mobile. This is their first highly anticipated high-end Android smartphone. It has a 4.1-inch display, a 1 GHz Snapdragon processor, a 5-megapixel camera that can capture HD video, and a front-facing camera. So it's a lot of power and a lot of features in this phone. It's a great option for prepaid customers or people who have wanted to switch to a prepaid carrier. You now have a phone that can offer great service and great performance for still a great price. So I've been testing it out and I'm going to do a full review. Before we get on to the review, I have to say a special thanks to our friends at Best Buy Mobile. We thank them all the time because they send us free phones that we can add to our One Paw Bandit game, which is a game where you guys can win free phones. One of the great things about Best Buy Mobile is that they sell phones from every major US carrier, including some prepaid carriers like Virgin Mobile. So you can go to Best Buy Mobile and compare the Motorola Triumph to other phones on Sprint or Verizon instead of having to go to several different stores. So thank you Best Buy Mobile for being so awesome. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'm Sydney from PhoneDoc.com and let's go check out the Motorola Triumph from Virgin Mobile. Now let me go over to the speed test app and we'll do a quick test, or maybe I'll just show you my results. So you can see here, download speed, I get 487, 200, 350, 320. It ranges, I say the average would be about 300 if you were to add all this together. 300 for downloads, and then uploads. You know, I've had highs obviously of about 600, but usually it's about 300 to 400. So 3G speeds haven't really been that great. And they're, as you can see, they're pretty inconsistent. You know, I go from 145 to 63 to 628. And these are all on 3G, not Wi-Fi. So very inconsistent and definitely could be faster. I've been pretty disappointed with the 3G speed so far. And I've tested this. I'm in the Dallas area and I've gone to different parts of Dallas in the Metroplex, you know, in smaller parts of it. And so that's why you probably see all these different speeds. But so 3G speeds haven't been great. I've been kind of disappointed. You saw PhoneDoc took quite a while to load. So again, something to take note of. Now we'll talk a little bit about the camera here. This is a 5-megapixel camera. It has an LED flash. And it captures HD video 720p, so resolution is 1280 by 720 at 30 frames per second. And it's actually a pretty decent camera. You also have a front-facing camera. This is a VGA camera that you can use for video calling. But the rear-facing camera is actually pretty decent. One thing that I was disappointed by was the video capture. Whenever I captured a video, even at HD quality or in HD quality, it was still pretty choppy. You know, colors were pretty decent the way they showed up, but it was just very choppy. It wasn't very smooth. Panning around when I wanted to get, you know, different views or different angles, it was just, it didn't keep up very well. Everything was kind of blurry whenever you moved it around. So video capture, I was disappointed by. It is HD quality, but kind of disappointing video capture. But it is nice to have the flash. And then I said, like I said, the VGA front-facing camera. That's nice to see. You know, a lot of phones have that these days. When a prepaid carrier, maybe sometimes that's one of the features that they would leave off to make the phone more affordable. But it's nice that they left it on for the Triumph, so you can use that for video calling. Now right next to the front-facing camera, you won't be able to see it, but right next to it is the notification light. It's actually underneath this speaker grill, so you can't see it at all. But it's the notification light. It's an LED light. It's visible even though it's underneath that grill. You can still see it pretty well. It's kind of interesting because it is positioned there. You can still see the grill lines through it, so it'd be like a red light with black lines. Kind of interesting, but it's not a negative. You know, it doesn't make it any less visible. Still works pretty well, so you can use that for messages or emails or notifications for that. Okay, so on the back here we have the battery, and it ships with a 1380 milliamp hour battery. And I was kind of surprised. If you saw the unboxing, the first time I saw the battery, I was kind of surprised that it shipped with such a small battery. As you can see, it's 1380. A lot of websites are listing this as a 1400 milliamp hour battery. I think they're probably just rounding, but just so you know, it is actually 1380. So when I first saw it, and such a small battery, I figured or assumed that battery life wouldn't be that great. May not even be able to get you through a full day. But I've actually been, pretty impressed with the battery life. Let me power it back on. The first time I got it and charged it, and then I just let it sit on standby, it lasted about 20 hours on standby, and that's just with setting it up and then letting it sit. So 20 hours, that's a little less than one full day. And then with normal use, it lasted about 11.5 hours with normal to heavy use. And that was with, web browsing, having Wi-Fi on, using Twitter, a little bit of music streaming, and then of course having all of my notifications running in the background. It lasted about 12 hours, so that's not bad. Definitely long enough to get you through a full work day. You'll obviously have to charge it every night, and that's going to be a must. If you use it more heavily than what I did, it may last less, or it may last longer depending on your use, but 12 hours isn't bad. You are going to have to charge it. You may even have to charge it whenever you get home from work or school. It definitely could be better, but I was impressed. It lasted longer than I thought it would. And for me, in my testing, as long as it gets me through a day, I'm willing to give it an A+. As long as it gets me to the end of the night where I can plug it in and then go to bed, for me, that's good enough. And so battery was definitely impressive. Not as bad as I thought it would be. Shipping with a 1380 milliamp hour battery, it definitely lasted longer than what I thought it would. Now, of course, the phone does ship with a few Virgin Mobile and Motorola apps. You can see Activate, Downloads, and My Account. Those are Virgin Mobile apps, and you have Latitude, your gallery, a couple of apps that I have downloaded. You can see Navigation, Point, Scavenger. Those came pre-installed. Twitchroid also comes pre-installed. Virgin Mobile Live, Wear, and YouTube. So not a whole lot of pre-installed bloatware, which is nice. Virgin Mobile is usually pretty good about that. This Virgin Mobile Live app is it's an app where it has streaming video. It's only one station. It's a custom Virgin Mobile station, but it has streaming video as well as videos, Virgin Mobile videos. You can check out blog, events. If we go to the music, you can see it just loads the radio. The music actually hasn't been that great. It's kind of bands that I've never ever heard of, but you can try it out and then probably download your own personal radio. But I like the fact that Virgin Mobile kind of keeps the bloatware off the phone. So that is pretty much it, guys. It's the Motorola Triumph from Virgin Mobile. It's available July 19th. For $300, I believe, which is a pretty good price. It is a high-end smartphone. My overall opinion on it is that it's a great phone, great specs. The camera was good. HD video kind of disappointed me, but overall the camera was good. Processor speed was pretty good with the occasional hang-up or the occasional lag. Overall, I'm going to say this is a great phone for a prepaid carrier, and once it hits Virgin Mobile, it's easily going to be the best phone that they offer. It's not going to blow you away. It's not, amazing and flashy. There are times when, like I said, the processor does kind of hang a little bit. The screen sometimes has some problems with sensitivity, and so there's some occasional problems here and there. It's not perfect, but it's definitely a good phone, especially for prepaid customers. Now, is this phone good enough to switch from, like AT&T or Verizon with the Droid Charge, or from the Sensation on T-Mobile? Is it good enough to switch from those to a prepaid carrier? It depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking to save money and still have a pretty good smartphone, a high-end smartphone, then definitely yes. If you're looking for a phone that's going to replace your Droid Charge, your Thunderbolt, or your Sensation, or your Evo 3D, definitely not. Those phones are much better. The dual-core processor, the Super AMOLED display, you can't really compete with those phones, at least with the Triumph. So if you're looking for a replacement, it's definitely not that. But if you want to save money while still having a good phone that's going to be reliable, I would definitely recommend the Motorola Triumph, the best phone on Virgin Mobile, and it can easily compete with other high-end smartphones offered by other prepaid carriers. So go check it out, July 19th. in Virgin Mobile stores. If you have any questions or if there's anything that I didn't cover, you can send me a message on Twitter. My screen name is It's My Job to Know, and I will try to answer as many questions as I can, or you can leave a question in the comment section of this video on YouTube or on PhoneDog.com. Be sure and go to PhoneDog.com for more news, updates, and reviews. Check out our Facebook page. We're always giving away phones and tablets and all kinds of stuff, so check that out. But thanks guys for watching this video. I'm Sydney from PhoneDog.com, and I'll see you guys later.